everyone, welcome to your very first ear training lesson. Today we're going to learn about being able to hear the difference between different pitches of music. Now, ear training kind of is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to be training your ear it's mostly for music, to be able to hear sounds and different sounds just by listening, by not seeing anything. Right now, I know you can see the keyboard and you can see my hands. So I'm going to ask you sometimes to close your eyes and we're going to test just to see how well you hear so far. So let's start at the very, very beginning, the very basics, is hearing notes that are higher than other notes. So if I asked you to close your eyes right now, which I'm going to do, please just close your eyes. I want you to tell me which note is higher, the first note or the second note. So, you need to close your eyes, you can't look. Which note is higher, the first note or the second note? I'll play it for you twice. Here's the first note. Second note. I'll play those for you again. Keep your eyes closed. The first note and the second note. Which note was higher? Right, the second note was much higher. All these notes are really high. Let's do it again. I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Which note is higher, the first note or the second note? Here's the first note. And the second note. I'll do them again. The first note and the second note. Okay, you can open your eyes. You're right, the first note is higher than the second note. You're doing so well. Let's try a couple more, something a little bit more difficult. Okay, which note is higher, the first or the second? I'll do it again. Yes, good. The second note was higher than the first note. Very good. Now, I'm going to do the one last test, and this is the smallest interval on the keyboard that you will be able to hear. Which note is higher, 1 or 2? I'll play it again. 1 and 2. Yes, 1. The first note is higher than the second note. Very good. Now you can hear the different pitches on the keyboard. Hearing those differences gets more difficult the way in the extremes. If I were to do two very close together up high, the first one was lower and the second one was higher. And really low down, it's like Jaws. Good. And now that you can hear, you know, you can be very confident that you can tell the difference between high notes and lower notes. I'm just using a keyboard as the example right now, but we could do this. These notes exist in our own voice and in so many different instruments like the violin, harp, clarinet, oboe. But this is the one that's very available right now and is very visual. Keyboards are so great for if you're just learning music, even if you want to play a different instrument, to learn the keyboard, because you can see everything right in front of you. Okay, let's learn about intervals. Now, you've been doing some piano lessons and some theory lessons, and you know about When you have your fingers on the keys, which fingers are playing and the spaces between them. Now let's do some training on hearing the spaces between the notes. You know that in a scale, we're going to use 5 notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. The first interval between do and re, we call that a major second. Because there's 2 notes, we're using 2 fingers. A major second. And it sounds like, and if you sing in your head, it sounds like do, re. Or the beginning of the song from The Sound of Music. Do, dear. But it's just do, re. The next one, do, mi. This is a third. I'm using my first finger and my third finger. And it sounds like Michael, row your boat ashore. But just the first 2 notes of it. Do, mi. So the first one, let's review. The major second sounds like. The major third sounds like. They're called major intervals right now because these are the happy ones. We'll talk more about that later. Okay, those are our major intervals, a major second, and a major third. Next we're going to go up. The next one is do, fa, do, fa. This one is using 1 and 4. You guessed it, it's a fourth. Now the fourth, we call it a perfect fourth because it's neither happy nor sad. It is perfect. The song that this might remind you of, there's a couple. There is Oh Christmas Tree, or Here Comes the Bride. So you will always hear that. Do, fa. Okay, the last one that we're going to do today, these aren't all of them, these are just the ones we're learning right now, is, yes, it is a fifth. No, it's not a major fifth, it's a perfect fifth. Just like the fourth, the fifth is perfect. It's not major or minor. Now maybe you know what song this reminds you of already. Do you have an idea? Yes, it's Star Wars. So whenever you hear Star Wars, that is a perfect fifth. You will always know that from now on. Good, well let's do a few tests, and I'm going to be doing this all over the keyboard, not just here, but I'll do it here, with this do, this do, and this do. Okay? You have to close your eyes. I'll play it twice. Yes, that's Star Wars, or a perfect fifth. Good. Next one. What song does that make you think of? Michael, row your boat ashore. It's a major third. Do, mi. Good. Next. They sound very close together. They don't sound as spread apart as the other notes, so they must be close together on the keyboard. Do, re, do, re. It's a major second. Yes, I know that one's really tricky to hear. Okay, one last one. I think you know what it is because it's the only one left. Sounds like a Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Yes, it's a perfect fourth. Good job. Now, we'll use these to make different harmonies. Eventually, because the distances between these notes give us different feelings. And if you remember when we talked about synesthesia, it can be applied to anyone. You can get different, sometimes this, like for instance this one, if I played this, that's not very relaxing, is it? That's a very crunchy note. It's not very nice at all. Whereas if I play this one, it's so soothing and uplifting. And same with just the major third. So perfect and soothing. There's the other versions of those that are a bit more sad. Yeah, and I think just to end the lesson, we'll just do a little song. I'll turn down the volume a little bit.